actually, which is on, but I already have one on. I don't think I need two. I'm not sure why there's two. And then it has this cute little cover you can put over it. And you just put it right in there, it's on to your shirt. So, or your lapel, or wherever you want to hook it onto. And it's very soft. It feels like bunny fur. So anyway, I just thought I'd show you that real quick. I'm going to put this one back in here. And this comes in a cute little plastic case to keep it fresh and clean, which is something I like. Fresh and clean. Who doesn't like fresh and clean? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start the drawing. Maybe somebody would like to join or kind of take a peek. I'm trying to improve my videos. I've been quite an amateur, I would say, quite an amateur. But I love doing art and artsy things and excuse me, and just kind of like bringing things to life. So I'm going to just give it a little start here. A little bit of eyebrow, a little nose, a little bit of an eye, more brows, and a teeny bit of nose and some lips. That's funny, all of those things make up the face. Hello. Give her a little shoulder. It's going to be hidden in her hair. And little mermaid legs or fins. And part of her hand. And I'm going to bring some of the hair down here because she has beautiful mermaid hair. And I don't really have any music playing tonight because I got informed that my music wasn't like it might be somebody else's or whatever, and they might stop my video. So I just wanted to get going tonight and just draw. Not worry about music and just enjoy drawing. And hopefully you enjoyed enough as well to make your own drawings. I just find it, if I don't think about that I'm drawing for other people and I just imagine myself being here alone, I seem to draw better for some reason because I don't feel the pressure of, oh, I have to do this awesome picture, this awesome drawing because people are watching me and I have to do a great job. But and then I start like, oh, that's kind of a worry, which I don't want when I do my art. Yes, art should be a relaxing, personal thing. And mostly I've been doing sketches lately because I work 6 days a week and I haven't really had time for painting. So I'm kind of just doing sketches and getting in the habit of kind of getting on a schedule because it's important to let you know when I will be painting or drawing or sketching or creating any kind of awesome art. Now I do paint other things besides mermaids. Let's give a little tail. I always say I'm going to paint dragon. I did draw a dragon one time. It was really fun and very awesome. And a lot of people really enjoyed the dragon painting or drawing. I keep saying painting because I'm used to painting. her a little bit of a tail tonight. We want her to, mermaids need to have a pretty tail, right? It's kind of like the hair and everything. You just want everything to be just right with your mermaid or yourself when you are going out to dinner or to see a friend or shopping or a date. Some people like to go on dates. Personally, I haven't had a good date in years. I had, had a good, had some good friends and hung out with some good people that it was nice to not actually say date, but like more like just hang with and just be friends with and talk and stuff. But I haven't really had any romantic or romance, I should say. I've had plenty of offers, but I'm looking for something that blows me away this time. I just really want to be blown away by, by someone instead of just saying, oh, this guy will work or will do or whatever, and that kind of thing. I'll be right back. I just need to go grab a drink of water. So that is where I'm at right now. I'll be right back. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm going to walk out of the room. Bluetooth microphone, which I'm so excited to have. And I really like that I have a microphone now because I think the sound comes out better. Well, at least I hope it does. I know the last video I did, it came out nice, and a few people were very like, oh, yes, your sound is great or better. But I don't know because I can't hear myself. So I'm just kind of like assuming that it sounds okay. And we're drawing our little fishy friend here. Our little fishy friend, a mermaid. Mermaids always have a friend around. I think I'll get a little fin on this side. I used to have betta fish all the time. I really liked having beta or betta, however you say it. People say it different ways. And I've had betta, I'm going to say betta, B-E-T-A, betta fish. I've had betta fish in my life. A lot of fish and her betas. And they're amazing. You can actually train a beta. I don't know if anyone knew that. But I learned you could train a beta fish. And they will respond to you, and it's really incredible, especially if you don't have time or you're not home a lot for a dog or a cat or that kind of a pet. So you really just want to have, a fish is a great pet. So I always had betta fish, and these fish, I found out, like, you can feed them cooked chicken, little teeny pieces of cooked chicken, because they're carnivorous creatures, and they will actually jump right out of the water to grab that little piece of chicken you're holding, just tiny, tiny, because they have such small stomachs. And you want to make sure that they are not getting overfed, because that's bad for a betta. Bad for a betta. And so that's kind of my betta story. I accidentally killed some bettas. People who know me know my it's part of the reason why I don't have a betta fish anymore, because I accidentally end their lives, and I don't mean to, of course, but it kind of just happens because I'm kind of ADD, and so I might forget something. I'm trying to make their life better, or I forget to make sure that their water is good and fresh. And that's a very important thing. Nice fresh water, and make sure that there's no chemicals or chlorine in it. So anyway, let's see here. I'm just kind of yeah, I'm just kind of like doing this thing with my beta. I'm just kind of, there we go. Also, I think I'm gonna, whoops, I took a picture, yay. Can you see that? I love those accidental pictures. Accidental pictures are a great way to take up your cloud space, which nobody ever has enough of, that I know. But anyway, so I had these betta fish, as I was saying. And I used to live in upstate New York for a while. It's very, especially right now, you know how cold it is if you're up there, or, you know, have ever lived up there. And it's just so cold. So one day I was turning on my oven to warm it up to make cookies. And it was really cold in my apartment. So I thought, well, if I put my betta in a bottle, it was in a little vase actually. And I thought, well, I'll just put them on the stove for a minute, and as it's heating up, and it would, you know, gently warm up the water for them, which would have worked had I not gone upstairs to borrow some, I don't know what it was, baking soda, I think, from a neighbor, because I didn't have any. And they were having a party up there, and they're like, hey, you know, let's, you know, sit down for a minute. And I sat down and totally forgot that I was going to cook and cooking, and that I even had a fish. So I went downstairs and I had accidentally boiled my fish. I'm not proud of that. Not proud of that story, but like I said, my friends and family who know me know this story. And they will also tell you I should not have a betta again in my life. And I'm kind of having a tendency to agree with that at this point. The first one I had was in Seattle, and oh, I love that fish. And he would jump up. I had that one all trained, and he would jump up and grab the little piece of chicken right out of my hand. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. This is awesome. And back, you know, 20 years ago, so I'm not going to say how long, but long enough ago to where we had these really big speakers. You know, they were like 3 feet tall and all that, before we had all this Bluetooth type of thing. I need a piece of paper. And so I had my betta fish was perched on top of this speaker, and it looked real pretty there. And I really, really loved that fish. I had him for 2 years, and I don't know, we were jamming out our little music, and next thing you know, I look over and the fish is, and the whole tank is not even there anymore. It's just gone. So I'm like, oh my gosh, where did, where's my fish? Um, and I guess the vibrations from the base of the speaker just vibrated his little tiny fish tank right onto the floor where it crashed open, but the music was so loud we couldn't hear it. And my poor little fishy was flopping around, and there was broken glass. It was tragic. I'm just gonna say it was just tragic. And yeah, so that one went bye too. So that's all the stories I'm going to tell you. I had more bettas, and they didn't all make it. They didn't all survive, or one would still be here, and I would show it to you. But I do think that a betta fish is one of the most beautiful fish ever. And there are so many different types and styles and colors. And, if you don't have time for a dog or a cat, I bet a fish is really nice. I used to hear like this little clinking sound when I got home from work. And I'd be like, what is it? It was like a little ping, ping, ping. And I'd look over at my fish tank, and my little betta was in there. He was a big, beautiful red one, and he was just banging against the tank, trying to get my attention. And I looked over there, and I could not believe it. He was actually whacking himself inside the tank, trying to make noise to get my attention. I was just like, oh my gosh, that is so funny. They know you're there, they can see you, and they're like a nice little buddy to have. And they don't bark, and they don't jump on things or knock things over, and they're quiet and peaceful. You just make sure to feed them and not to boil them or kill them in any other accidental way. Yeah. So anyway, let's give our little mermaid some scales. And I'm going to give a little more curl here. So, hey, Galactic Q. Hi, how are you tonight? How was your day today? It's so good to see you again. I was watching Jang's video earlier, but I can't always watch him, otherwise I'll never get my own videos done because he's streamed like practically 24/7, which is why he's so great at his games. and and he's very interesting to watch, right, Galactic? So I actually saw you on there with him for a little while. Nature Connecting. Hello, hi. You love it. Thank you so much. Are you a mermaid fan? Because I know I am. I don't know. Mermaids are so fun, and they can be mysterious. They can be happy, sad, somber, um, evil, evil mermaids. I think they're called sirens, actually. And sometimes I feel like a siren. I don't feel like a good mermaid. Sometimes I feel like an evil mermaid in my own way. Not that I could ever really be evil because I'm not good at that, but I sure know some people who are good at it. Galactic, yeah, he is a cool guy. Thank you. And thank you so much for that awesome compliment. You, I'm so glad you like my art because it gives me some good feedback that I can continue doing this and not give up hope. um, I think every artist is their own worst critic, critic, critiquer. Um, we'll make up some new words here. But anyhow, yeah, I mean, like I will say, oh, I should do this better, or I didn't do that right, or whatever it is, and I just critique my own art all the time, and I really shouldn't be doing that. Um, it's not good to criticize yourself. It's hard not to. I mean, even like in everyday life, you might just be like, oh, you know, that person is way better looking or taller or, has bigger muscles or bigger tatas or whatever. And you can always compare yourself to someone else and then not feel good about your own self, which is a bad habit to get into, but you can break it. You just compliment your own self and give yourself a break. Just say, hey, I am great just the way I am. I love myself. Someone's got to love you. So you can start by loving yourself. That's a really good way to do it. To break out of that bad self talk. And yes, I need another sip of. I'm having water tonight. I'm not having. What did I have last night? I had my what is it? Juice, my encouragement juice, I guess. Mm. But tonight I'm having water, trying to hydrate. Galactic, have you ever drawn anything yourself? I'm curious to know. And or nature connecting. Are you an artist yourself? I always like to talk to other artists. We get each other. Um, some artists are very, very, what do you call it, very confident, in what they do. And some just never can achieve that self-esteem or that confidence they need. And so it can be a really hard day for someone like that. You've really got to, like I said, give yourself some good self-talk, and don't criticize yourself for not making the scales perfect on your mermaid. like I'm thinking right now, it's like, oh, I could do better. Um, we can always all do better, but that comes with practice. With anything, even if you're a gamer, you can always be a better gamer, but that comes with practice and patience and, and learning and techniques. And every day is a learning experience. It could be anything from drawing, from not killing your little fish. Give them a little fin here. That's better. You don't want to kill your fish or your pets. That's kind of a bad thing. Definitely not on purpose. But fish. I used to have goldfish. I had a goldfish a couple times, and I didn't know that the water would get all cloudy, and then it goes away. And I thought, oh my goodness, I just cleaned this water, and now it's all cloudy. But it puts this stuff in the fish tank to where it's good for their scales. And I didn't know that, and then I wound up killing those fish by trying to have the tank too clean. So I didn't want to keep my tank too clean. I learned that. And actually with my betta fish, I really only clean their tank once a month. And I had it in like a vase, like a large flower vase. And the fish can jump out of the water. So I would take a Tupperware lid, the size of the vase, and I would put a hole in the middle and a plant. It's either you can put in a spider plant or a philodendron, and the roots actually feed off the fish poop and and keep your plant healthy that way, and it helps keep your tank cleaner. Something's just not right here. It's bugging me. Gotta fix that. want to give her too much hair. There we go. Nice, pretty little mermaid. And she is sitting on a seashell. And we're going to give our little seashell some little seashell lines. And a little bit of shading here. And also, oh, I didn't finish the scales on her legs, did I? The tail legs. And she's sitting down, so she needs to have a little shading down here so we can tell that she's actually sitting on something. Because otherwise she'll just look like she's floating in space over the top of something of the seashell. But we really want to have some depth in this. And shading helps with depth a lot. And learning to shade properly is a very good tool to have and to know about. And knowing where your light is coming from helps make your shading even better, because it'll look a little bit more realistic to have, let's say, like if the sun is coming in, say from this direction, then all up here is going to be light, and light will be reflecting off of the top right up in here, this kind of area. Okay, so I have ADD. I get distracted now that I'm up here and working on her hair again. I still haven't finished her tail, her scales. We kind of want them to get a little closer and smaller as we get to the bottom, and that shows a deeper perspective. And speaking of deeper perspectives, I'm working on that in my life. I need to really get a deeper perspective, and focusing on myself and trying to meditate. I usually can meditate for about 30 seconds before I realize I'm not breathing or my mind goes somewhere else. And then I'm like, okay, just focus, and I'll breathe deep and I'll count each second. And that works for a while too. So I'm really focusing on trying to do that. Okay, so she's got hair coming down here, but as you can see, it looks like it's going under her leg, and I want it to kind of come out right here on the top. So we're going to just erase a little bit right there. And I have an electric eraser someplace special that I put in a special place. Let's see if it's in my art supplies here. Yes, here it is. And then I have all my micron pens in here as well. And I use those to darken the lines a lot. Micron pens are amazing. I don't know how many of you have ever used them, but they're really fun, and you get really good results with them as well. Especially for like fine art. And also I have a brush as well somewhere to get these eraser things off, but I don't know, so I'm just going to use my paper towel. And here we go. Maybe a little bit more. And I think, like, you've got to really learn to relax in your life and not take anything too seriously. Especially, you know, you know, you think you're in a great relationship and it turns out to be a big lie. So you got to let it go and move on with your life and enjoy your life. Because who wants to even think about sucky relationships? Which is why art is a really good way to focus on yourself and on, you know, you just think about your art when you're doing it. Unless you're doing it online like I am, and I'm thinking about everybody watching, which is a little unnerving. I kind of like this little light spot here I put. And we'll give her a little bit of shading here and her hair. Shading is an important part of drawing. And it brings out the light. So as you can see, as I'm shading around her face, that her face is standing out more and more. Now, I told myself this is going to be a quick video. They always wind up lasting an hour, hour and a half, but I really am trying to tone it down a little because I get so tired, and I'm sure they're so boring because I know I can't keep I can't stay focused for very long personally. So it's good for me to, if I can't watch it for more than 10 seconds, then I can't expect anyone else to. So I got to make it at least interesting enough that I could watch it, my own videos, for longer than that. And I'm going to bring her tail out. I'm kind of just shading this shell, the seashell she's sitting on. And when you put the dark in, you can move this a little closer, I think. See if you can see that better. And when I put the dark in, it just really brings out the light. And we want to keep things shaded and keep things highlighted to make your drawing more realistic-y. I'm going to say realistic-y instead of realistic because tonight we're just doing, not a realistic type of thing because this is definitely fantasy. I think fantasy is one of my favorite topics. And I don't know if y'all are into fantasy, like dragons and like science fiction movies and stuff like that, but I love that kind of thing. There's some really good, let's see, Dragonheart was one of my favorite movies. I don't know if anyone's seen that, but it was a really good movie. I was really surprised. And so that was one I like to watch. I'll watch that one over and over again. And I am using one of these automatic pencils where it keeps the tip sharp all the time, so you don't have to worry about it getting not too sharp. You need to have your pencil sharp enough to give you the fine lines you want. And here we go. Got another seashell part over here. And I'm just going to shade this right in here. There we go. And I'd like to thank whoever's on here with me, for just watching and being here. I appreciate you, and you are a good person, and I will tell you that because you're giving encouragement to stream, and I love that. You don't even have to say anything. There we go. Let's connect her tail to her. Now, this is the top of her tail up here. So I'm shading the top because the seashell, I'm shading the seashell right here because the light is coming in from this direction. But we also need to shade around her because that gives it the depth we need. There we go. So yeah, I didn't have music tonight. I really wanted to have music, but I'm trying to find some music that I won't get in trouble for having in the background. I love guitar music. I think it's so relaxing. But I got to make sure that I'm not using somebody's that's copyrighted. I think I got a little in trouble for that, almost accidentally. So you just get to hear me talking and talking and talking. Or not talking. So I told you about my fish story. What else do I got? I don't know. My jellyfish story, which I've already talked about the jellyfish that I got stung by when I was scuba diving before, and so that's kind of an old story, which is, it's a good story though. It gave me the scar here. I don't know if you can see it, but I have this nice scar from the jellyfish, and my whole hand swelled up. It stung so bad, and it just felt like 1,000 bees stung my hand at the same time, and 100 hammers hit my hand at the same time because the bees were stinging me. And I'm underwater with a snorkel and breathing through the mouth gear with my mouth, and I'm like freaking out that I might be poisoned or I might die or something. So I give my leader guy the thumbs, let's go up. You got to go up because something's going on. So we all go up because um, we were all holding onto this rope together. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I got stung by a jellyfish. Am I going to die? Is it poisonous? And he said, no, it's not poisonous. I'm like, well, should you pee on it? Do you need to pee on it or something? He actually laughed at me. And that's when I found out that's a myth. It's the warm water that helps take that sting away. Yeah, got to get that sting away. Yay. I'm going to use a different pencil for this. There we go. And right here, we want her to have some depth. I really want a different pencil now to kind of fill that in better. But anyway, we're about done here. You can see that she has her tail. She has her little fishy friend. And he's just so happy. Let's give him a little smile. He's just like very happy to see her, and so a little bit of a smile there. And fish lips. I like the fins. The fins are so beautiful on a betta fish. And this is a sky sea betta fish floating around in the air, but also in the sea. Because she could be sitting on a seashell under the sea or in the sun. We don't know right now, but we can kind of guess or decide in our minds what kind of, is she underwater? Is she out of the water? But for me, she's out because her hair is down and it's not flowing all over the place. Because when you are underwater, your hair just really kind of goes everywhere, which I think is really fun. So I'm just going to fill in a little bit of these spaces here in her tail. I want to give her a nice little, some depth, you know. There we go. And I'm not sure when I started this, but I'm pretty sure it's been 30 minutes. And 30 minutes is going to be my time for videos this week. I'm focusing on at least just getting online to stream for 30 minutes every day, which will get me in the practice of doing this every day. And that helps me prepare better. And so you guys know when I am on, when I'll be online too. You know, so many people, I never had a schedule. It's hard for me to keep a schedule or even make one. So that's my goal for this new year, is just to really, you know, just kind of have a schedule and get in my groove. And I just want to thank anybody who stopped in today and enjoyed my artwork at all. There we go. Let's give her a little more shading right in here, because she needs to have that depth, that 3D kind of look. And this is where you get your, you know, your depth, your motion. Because you don't want your mermaid or your drawings to look flat. You need to have the shading in there. Like this is where the light doesn't hit. And so I'm going to bring that up here. And obviously the light is going to be hitting on this top side. So I'm just going to darken in a little bit, shade a little bit. Get that nice effect of where the light is. There we go. Yeah. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Like I said, I got a new microphone. I know that people in the past have said my sound quality is not so great. So that's something I'm working on, is improving my videos and my sound quality and all that. There we go. And then, you know, I'm just going to darken a few of her little scales to give her some sparkly effect, is what I call it. Just very quickly here. And her hair a little bit. Mermaids are all about tails and hair and jewelry. Actually, I think I'll draw like an arm bracelet on her right now with a little bow on it. I'm feeling like a bow. I don't usually draw bows, but why not? And then we're going to shade it just a bit because the light's coming from the top. And so our bow is going to have a little bit of a shadow. It goes across her arm. And her hair is going to have a little shadow too. So we want to get that darkness in, like we did in her tail, and we're going to have it just shaded just enough in the dark areas. There we go. She looks peaceful. You think? I think she looks pretty peaceful. I'm going to just write my name on this. And I'm going to call this one a day. And thank you so much for sharing my video and watching my video. And if you could just hit a like and subscribe, that would be awesome. And Hogan, I remembered how to spell my name. And it is December 12th, 12/12, 24. Go right into that age. Well, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. Y'all have a wonderful night. And remember to be positive, give yourself positive self-talk, and just enjoy your life. Just enjoy living and just be you. Just be yourself. And just love life and take time to breathe and remember who you are. Just remember you're important and tell yourself that. I am important. Repeat that over and over and over because you are important. All right. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.